Atomic Habits by James Clear is widely considered the definitive modern guide to behavioral change. The book's core premise is simple yet profound. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. This comprehensive summary is designed to take about 12 to 15 minutes to read at a steady pace, broken down into its core arguments, empirical facts, and reflective questions to help you apply its wisdom immediately.
The core arguments, the philosophy of tiny changes. Clear builds his framework on three foundational arguments that challenge how we traditionally think about success, willpower, and personal growth. Argument A, compounding applies to self-improvement. Just as money multiplies through compound interest, the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them. A tiny 1% improvement every day doesn't feel noticeable in the moment, but over a year, the math is staggering. Conversely, a 1% decline daily drags you down almost to zero. Argument B, focus on systems, not goals. Goals are about the results you want to achieve. Systems are about the processes that lead to those results. Clear argues that goal setting suffers from major flaws. Winners and losers have the same goals. Every Olympian wants the gold medal. The goal itself isn't what differentiates the winner. Achieving a goal is only a momentary change. Cleaning a messy room fixes it for an hour. Fixing the system of why it gets messy keeps it clean forever. Goals restrict your happiness. They create an either-or mentality. Either you achieve the goal and succeed, or you fail and are a disappointment.
Argument C, true behavior change is identity change. Most people try to change their habits by focusing on what they want to achieve, outcomes, or how they do it, processes. Clear argues the deepest, most permanent layer of change is shifting who you believe you are, identity. Outcome-based, I am trying to quit smoking. Identity-based, I am not a smoker. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. 2. The core facts, science and case studies. Clear anchors his arguments in biological, psychological, and historical data. Here are the key empirical facts and case studies highlighted in the book. The 1% math. Mathematically, if you get 1% better each day for 365 days, you will end up 37.78 times better by the end of the year. If you get 1% worse each day, you decline down to 0.03. The Plateaus of Latent Potential. Habits often appear to make no difference until you cross a critical threshold. Clear references how an ice cube won't melt at 27 degrees. 28 or 31 degrees Fahrenheit. But when it hits 32 degrees, the melting begins. The previous degrees weren't wasted. They were stored. The British cycling transformation. In 2003, British cycling hired Dave Brailsford. The team had won just a single gold medal in 100 years. Brailsford applied a strategy called the aggregation of marginal gains, improving everything from tire friction to the pillows the riders slept on by 1%. Within 5 years, the team dominated the Beijing Olympics, winning 60% of the gold medals available. The neurological loop. All habits run through a 4-step neurological loop in the brain. Cue, triggering a behavior. Craving, the motivational force. Response, the actual habit performed. And reward, the end goal that satisfies the craving. 3. The framework. The 4 laws of behavior change. To build good habits and break bad ones, Clear translates the neurological loop into a practical, actionable framework. The 4 steps. How to create a good habit, how to break a bad habit. 1. Cue. Make it obvious. Design your environment so visual triggers stare you in the face. Make it invisible. Remove the triggers from your environment completely. 2. Craving. Make it attractive. Pair something you need to do with something you want to do. Make it unattractive. Reframe your mindset to highlight the benefits of avoiding it. 3. Response. Make it easy. Reduce friction and prime the environment for immediate action. Make it difficult. Increase friction and create barriers between you and the action. 4. Reward. Make it satisfying. Give yourself an immediate, tangible reward upon completion. Make it unsatisfying. Create an accountability partner or a habit contract.
Tactical highlights within the laws. Habit stacking. Pairing a new habit with an old, established one. Formula: after I, current habit, I will, new habit. The 2-minute rule. When starting a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. Don't write a book, write 1 sentence. Don't run 3 miles, tie your running shoes. Scale the entry point, then optimize the habit once it's established. The Goldilocks rule. Humans experience peak motivation when working on tasks of just right difficulty. Not too easy, not too hard, but right on the edge of their current abilities, roughly 4 or 5% beyond their comfort zone. 4. Reflective questions for self-examination. To transform this reading from passive consumption into active learning,
reflect deeply on these 7 questions based on Clear's framework. On systems and identity. Look at your biggest goal for this year. If you ignored the goal completely and focused strictly on your daily schedule and environment, would you still get the result? What does your current system predict for your future? Think about the bad habit you struggle with most. What is the underlying identity or self-belief? I have a terrible memory. I am bad at math. I am an anxious person that is secretly keeping that habit alive. What is one small action you can take today that would act as a vote for the ideal identity you want to build?
On environmental design, how is your current physical workspace or living space designed? Is it making your bad habits easier to do than your good ones? For example, is your phone sitting on your desk while your book is buried in a drawer? Using the concept of habit stacking, what is a rock-solid daily routine you never skip that you can anchor a brand new positive habit onto? On friction and longevity, how can you apply the 2-minute rule to a massive, intimidating project you have been procrastinating on? What does the absolute bare minimum version of that habit look like? When you inevitably slip up and break a good habit streak, what system do you have in place to ensure you follow Clear's cardinal rule? Never miss twice.